Morning, guys. I have been fairly AWOL, MIA, from YouTube the last month. Mostly because I've been working on a harvest prep, getting calves weaned, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on, family stuff. Life's busy. We're back for a little bit. We're still harvesting. We're probably about third done with beans and haven't done any corn or milo yet. But that's just farming. Life's busy, and can't always stop and make videos about old tractors and whatnot. But I'm going to bring you a little bit of harvest stuff throughout the harvest season here, especially when I'm running the older combines, the Massey 82, the N6, maybe the Massey 300 and 860 if they get out this year. But we're working on the N6 here today, and we'll talk about that more in a minute here. But before we get there, last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, today's Tuesday, we had a sorghum pressing event at the Sunflower Pioneer Power Association grounds. Basically, we take sugar sorghum, which is kind of like sedan grass, milo, forage sorghum, but has more sap and sweetness to it, and we crush it, run through a press, what I think was probably a commercial sugar cane press at some point in time in its life. Run it through that, collect the juice sap that comes out of it. We let it settle overnight, and then we slowly boil it down into a molasses or molasses sorghum, I guess. And I'll voice over that as we go through it, but we'll show that footage now. And yeah, it was a pretty interesting learning experience. We have some things we want to try different for next year, but that's that.
At the rules. chunk of iron.
Pieces of metal about 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, back to what we're working on today. N6 Gleaners. As you can see, and maybe if you remember from last year, all I had for this thing was a platform head. A 24-foot rigid platform we used to cut milo. And, well, I wanted to get some more use out of this thing this year. We put about 60 hours on it. That's pretty good. It was wonderfully handy during milo harvest just to put somebody in to help cover some acres. But since it's kind of wet and drizzly this morning, we're gonna mess with this a little bit more. We're not messing with the corn head this morning. Combine's actually pretty much ready to rock and roll. I've looked at most everything and have quite a few spare parts for it if we get there. Need to look at the corn head, make sure it's all greased up and ready, but that's pretty minor. But what we're doing today is much like that Case 1370 of mine that has the Gleaner Technologies steering system in it. This is getting it too. My good R65 has an ag leader steering system and yield monitoring set up in it. Mostly because I'm a single operator most days, and having guidance in the machine makes my life worlds easier and saves a lot of stress, especially with like beans where I'm running auto header height all day. I just kind of have to sit there and monitor and make sure I'm not running over anything. And so, yeah, we're going to put a system in the N6 too. Now, I know Casey Briggs out of South Dakota has put quite a few in other combines. I have not yet. And he was picking some corn this week with 8120, I don't know, some Class 8 Case IH with a Gleaner Technology steering system in it. And there's no row feelers, but he was using the RTK steering system and staying on the row pretty well. So a guy can dream that that's going to work. Mostly I was planning on using it in milo, where we're cutting out contours and whatnot. And if we're doing straight lines, it'd sure make whoever's running it, including me, life easier. Now, doing this, if you remember from the Case 1370, I have a steering wheel I have to put in. That's the antenna. N6 is great because it's got this roof here to work on. Antenna. That big old steering motor right there. Wiring, all the adapters hook at the steering wheel. I do have to pull my steering wheel off, which is a little bit sad, but life goes on. We'll save the cap out of it. I'm sure I can buy another steering wheel if I ever need it. We're gonna have to locate power, which I would assume, yeah, I can find right in here. Won't be too big a deal. Looks like I need to vacuum the inside of that out before we get started. And also need to ground the system as well and figure out where I'm gonna mount it. I don't know if we're gonna bolt it to this guy here, maybe. Might be my best bet. Obviously you want the screen somewhere in this area. And then, yeah, we'll have the steering motor here and steering wheel on the column. Looks like there's a nice spot to clamp to right here under the steering wheel. The N6 did not really have a great place to clamp to, I'm glad. Or my 1370, I had to do a little bit of modification to make it clamp nice, but looks like we're gonna be okay in this machine. So yeah, pull steering wheel, get screen mounted in here, and start figuring out wiring. I'll probably go get like a plastic ammo can like I did in the 1370 and set it over there to hold all my wiring, because I don't really, I mean, I got dead space back in there, but I don't really want to have to shove all my wiring in there. We'll think about it some. We can run wires down along the floor and over and up into there too. I can always drill a little hole in my console to run wires through when we get there. But that's the gist of what's happening here. I'm gonna get the steering wheel pulled off with a set of pullers and see about getting screen mounted up there, and we'll get back with you. Well, it's in here. Nothing too wild going on. Still need to turn up some zip ties and stuff on this. The steering system, you know, you just pull your steering wheel, you set the drive motor down on, and there's steering wheel on it. I mounted the screen up there to my HVAC box. All the wiring runs into the console, and you can take off the cover on the outside and access this whole cover, so I've already cleaned all that up. Looks pretty good, but I went out in the pasture and played with it. It does its thing. The only thing left to do is try it in the field in corn or milo. The receiver's up there on the roof. Yeah, pretty much ready for action. Now, this system honestly installed easier in this than it did in my case because there's a better irrigated clamp too here than in my case. But yeah, that's about it. Just need to take the N6 in the field now. Actually, I need to set it for corn. Probably it's never done corn with me. It's done it in the past, just not here. And I don't think we probably got any milo this dry. We might, but I'd rather do corn. Well, I don't know. I'd like to get the milo out of the field, let's be honest. So I should maybe think about just going and picking up my 24-foot rigid head, but like we had missed this morning, so that kind of messes that whole deal up. But yeah, you know, you just go in here, set your line, whatever. Already did my steering calibration. It's angry because I'm a little low on coolant. They added a nighttime setting that's nice. I don't know what that does. Current job name, interesting. What are these? Oh, that's my line adjust. That one, so I can nudge over. That's turn row stuff, so you can skip or whatever, which I don't usually do. Maybe doing tillage. But yeah, excited to try this thing on curb and straight line with the corn head. Be nice to have GPS in this. My R65 has GPS in it, and that's a big lifesaver. But that's pretty much it here. Shut the big girl down. I guess we'll clean up tools. Gotta go work on my R65 just a little bit. Had a shield that was rubbing against the chopper drive pulley. So made some fun noises last night, scared the hell out of me, thought I had something seriously wrong, and nope, just a shield rattling. But we shut her down. It rained a little bit last night. Honestly, I could probably go pick some corn if I knew I had any dry, but I don't know if I have any dry, so whatever, we'll go from there. Well, I'm not in the N6 this morning, but I did pick a little bit of corn with the N6 yesterday. Got a field opened up. It was sprinkling around yesterday morning, but not over east on our irrigated beans. And we've been waiting for those to dry down just a little bit more, and kind of had been fighting the wettish weather. But this morning we are chomping on irrigated beans. These are excellent beans. I'm not going to tell you the yield, but they're excellent. We got a little bit of late weed pressure that came on, a little bit of volunteer corn. Nothing terrible. But we're creeping along at 2 mile an hour this morning. It's only 10 o'clock this morning, so still pretty early. Sun's not out very good yet. It's supposed to be like 80 today, so we'll get to rolling at some point. Yesterday I was trucking along about 3 mile an hour in these beans later in the day. But I mean, when you're taking in as many beans as well are coming in here, you're not going to hurry. I mean, this is only a class 6 Gleaner that is 20 years old with a 30-foot Gleaner draper on it. So we're just going to take our time here. This is our only field of irrigated beans, and we want to do it right and harvest it right. But good beans, having fun. We got that new rinky pivot that we got put in this year up on this field. I used to flood irrigate all this field. We actually flood irrigated only like 53 acres. And now our pit, we were permitted to flood like 68 or 67. But we just didn't have the water and couldn't push the water with irrigation pipe. But now with the pivot, I irrigate like 64, I think. And it's just dry land everywhere else in the corner. But yeah, if you're ever driving down Highway 383 east of Long Island, Nebraska, or Long Island, Kansas, that's this field. But we're gonna truck along here and keep chomping. This thing's having to work pretty darn hard and good beans this morning, and that, I mean, that's okay. Just part of it. We're gonna keep rolling. morning, guys. It's harvest day. Who the hell knows? Just got the old Lodestar with the DV550 started, warming up. We're gonna run it in, and then we'll come back and fire up the N6, let it warm up. While that's warming up, I got a small mess to clean up. I already cleaned up that mess as best as possible from yesterday. I was playing on my phone in the hydro prep forward, and I dumped corn on the ground, but yeah. We've been, I don't know how many days we're in. We've been doing beans and corn right now. I run corn in the mornings while it's cool with the N6 right now, and then about 10:30 to 11, I shut that off and jump over and start beans. It's like 34 degrees out this morning, so it's gonna be a little bit before I start beans, but yeah, I got a full load there on the Lodestar. We'll run it in this morning. It's about 3.5 miles to town from here. Can't see it up over the hill. I probably got 2 or 3 bin loads left in this field. We got some volunteer milo growing from last year here. We came on late, not really a big deal. Not my best corn. The next field I go to will be my best cornfield, I would think. It's down in the bottom, about 3/4 mile. We go up the road, and 1/2 mile west. It's pretty good corn in the bottom, which is usually how that works. But yeah, DV550 really hates cold mornings. We're not doing too bad. I had 555 bushel on a load yesterday morning, and I bet this is pretty close to it. But yeah, I really like this old Lodestar. It's pretty darn reliable once you get it started. It does not like to start. That's just normal DV550 things. But the N6 is really gonna hate firing up this morning too. Love the corn head. It's been great. Yeah, there you can see some of my corn over there, and I've got the auto steer in here too, and it has been wonderful. It actually follows the row pretty great. You might have to nudge around a little bit here or there, and I think that's more based on my planting, not so much on the GPS. But it does it, and it works. But that's the gist. Let this thing warm up for about 5 more minutes, and then hammer into town. Not some of my better corn here, but we only got like, I think it's 12 inches of rain for the year so far. So it's what it is, and it really didn't start raining until August, which does not grow corn. It grows milo and beans, and we have some fairly good milo and beans, but it doesn't grow corn. The next field I'm going to is a lot better. It's down in the bottom, right over there. But yeah, we're about done here in the last 8. We'll dump this on the truck and then run the combine down there and pick a bin load. Then drive back up to the truck, run to town and dump it, and then pull down there in the bottom and fill a truck probably, and go from there. full. Time to unload. Field here, we're in the little 18-acre bottom of mine. I bought it 2019. Yeah, 2019. Ties into a quarter and an 80 that I own. And 80 of it's pasture. The other quarter is 3 pieces of crop ground. 2 of those were corn this year, and 1 is milo. I got some weed problems right here. It's partially because some water runs across here when it rains heavy, and it always brings weeds in. But like up on the side hills, don't really have the problem. But yeah, we're gonna finish up this field. I got a partial bin load left, it looks like. Hopefully it will all fit on this truck. Then I will be done with my corn here on these 2 pieces, and we'll probably move this thing up to one of Dad's fields. It's supposed to maybe rain tonight, tomorrow, and I'm glad to have this bottom done, because the road in here, when it rains, washes out really bad, gets really rough, and this field almost becomes inaccessible. So really glad to be getting this done. We're gonna go cut one more, or pick one more bin load, and get done here. Hammer down. Got 1 row. I had a corn stalk get jammed up against my light there. It's still feeding corn in, but I got plants building up. It happens, old combines, and I mean, heck, that can happen on new combines too. But we're about done here, and probably nearing the end of this video. Maybe I might get some drive-by of the truck here in a minute, and going to the elevator. That'll be it. And then, yeah, I gotta go finish up a bean field here before it rains. Got like 35 acres there, which I should be able to get done today. And then a Halloween parade for the kids tonight, and that's more important than picking corn and cutting beans. And then actually I just ordered an injector pump for my R65. It's got a capped injector pump, which was used on Gleaner combines, some Case IH and New Holland tractors in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s maybe. But the company, I think actually Area Diesel Service is where I ordered the kit from. It's getting a P pump put in it. It's kind of uncharted territory here, because nobody has real good documentation on how it works on a Gleaner combine, and if all my sensors are going to shut off, we're going to figure it out, because I did not want to replace it with another caps injector pump and have it fail in a year and a half or 2 or 3 years. So that's what we're doing. We're going to put a P pump on it, hopefully raise the value of my combine a little bit, and we'll get that all on video. That way it's documented for other guys too on how to make it work, because I know I am not the only person in this world with a Gleaner combine with this problem. That caps pump was used on late R62s and early R65s before they went to the Sisu motor, and we're gonna fix the problem, because I am tired of it, and that's just it. Tired of it. But as you can see, we're dropping back in here into this bottom, and I don't have a lot left here. Hopefully should all fit on the truck, but there's some good corn down in there, more bushels than I'm used to. I mean, I'm in a world where 80 bushel corn is kind of what we hope for, not 200, not 150, like 80. So anytime you can pull into stuff like that, the ears are like shoulder high on me and the tassels are at eye level, it's a novelty to me. I only get that when I'm doing irrigated otherwise. So yeah, I'm gonna knock out these last few rows, get them on the truck, head the truck in. guys, that pretty much wraps it up here. I just finished off a 180 acre field of beans with the R65, N6, and Lodestar back at the farm. We're getting ready to pack, or they're gonna chop our silage, so Dad and I gotta pack it. I think maybe tomorrow, Saturday, or Monday. We'll see, it's kind of weather dependent. And we're gonna go from there on that deal. Still, I'm one field away from being done with beans, and then still have plenty of corn and milo to go. But that's about it for now. Might be a little hit or miss on videos here during harvest. Trying to get that stuff done before we get back to all the old tractor stuff, but that's just how it goes around here. Farm has to come first this time of year. But do have a few more, this isn't it, this is one of Casey's hats, a few more territorial trading hats on the website. You can join the Ham Spear Club and get early access to videos. As well, will be more videos coming in the future, plenty of stuff to do. Just got to get harvest done. And we've probably still got a solid month of that left, if not more. But with that, please like, share, and subscribe. You guys take care, have a good one. Go drag some out of the weeds and get it running.